Welcome back to the Yukon Project. Today we're going to walk you through OppLoans. OppLoans issues unsecured personal loans for people with damaged credit. They don't have a minimum credit score needed to be approved for one of their loans, but I believe the average credit score for one of their borrowers is around 580 or 590. If you have a credit score above 640, you should be able to get a lower cost loan somewhere else. So let's take a look at OppLoans and see if they are the lender that you should do business with. First thing you'll notice here is that they say OppLoans by OppFi. OppFi is just their publicly traded company. I'm not sure why they feel the need to say that it's driven by that company, since no one knows anything about OppFi. It's OppLoans that people are familiar with. But they are publicly traded, and so a lot of the information I'm going to share with you today comes from their 10K filing that they do with the government, because they have to as a publicly traded company. It says no hidden fees. They do not charge an origination fee, and they don't even charge late fees. So when they say no hidden fees, it's not just that they're not hiding the fees. They have very few fees when it comes right down to it. But the important thing to keep in mind about that no late fee is that their interest rate is so high, even though you might be late on the payment, it's still calculating that interest on a daily level. So even though there's no late fees, it's practically a late fee. Every day that you're late is more interest that you will owe. They say applying does not affect your FICO or credit score. That is true. They do a soft credit pull to see whether you're qualified. Only after you're approved and you accept the loan terms that they will do a hard credit inquiry. First of all, let's jump to their actual loan page. They are fairly transparent about the cost of their loans. If we pick one of the states here, let's just say we pick Alabama, you can see that their loans range from $500 to $5,000. That's pretty true of almost all of their states. There's a couple of states that have a slightly different loan amount, like a minimum that's different, but a vast majority of their states are $500 to $5,000, and their repayment terms are 9 to 18 months. You can see that their APRs are very high. 160% is their minimum, and 195% is their maximum. What's interesting is that they've actually increased that minimum over the last few months. It used to be 129%. You can only apply online. They don't actually issue any of their loans. All of their loans are issued by one of three companies: FinWise Bank, First Electronic Bank, or Capital Community Bank. So if you take out a loan with them, the loan will actually be with one of those companies. They say that they consider more than just your credit score. They will argue that they use about 500 different metrics, but that really sounds like they're looking at a lot more than they actually are. That's coming from three different sources: either your application, what you put on the application, what's in your credit report, and the third one is your bank data information that you will allow them to look at for the application. So those are the three main sources of information. From those sources, they get a lot of data, and they transform a lot of data in order to measure. But ultimately, what they're trying to figure out is, are you going to be able to pay back this loan? And are you willing to pay back this loan? So let's go back up there and take a look at some of these rates terms. So if we look at the state by state, you can see that it's they give you the loan amount, the repayment terms, and the APR. Here in the example, it gives you an idea of what the payments might cost. I think this is slightly misleading because their loans actually have payments that line up to your payday. So if you're paid twice a month or every other week, that's when your payment will come. So there really won't be monthly payments. There's either going to be bi-monthly payments or bi-weekly payments. I did a little bit of analysis on this. If you take out a $2,000 loan, the least that you will end up paying on interest is $1,500, and the most is $4,200. It's really important that you take out these loans for the minimum amount of time that you can possibly take them out. Even if they approve you for 18 months, do what you can to pay these loans off in 6 months or less. You probably can't control the APR that you get. They're just going to offer you what they offer you. If you look at what that payment might be per month, and again, This is a little bit deceiving because I don't think their payments will be monthly. I think they're going to be bi-monthly. So this is cut in half, but that's going to happen twice every month. For a $2,000 loan, you're going to be spending at the most $440 in payments every month, and at the least probably about $300 in payments every month. OppLoans is a well-established company, so you should be comfortable working with them, but these are expensive forms of credit. You should only take one of these loans if you absolutely need the money. And even then, you should only take one of these loans if you know you can repay it in full within a few months. Taking the whole term to pay off one of these loans will be extremely expensive. The accruing interest could cause more of a problem than the emergency that caused you to borrow in the first place. If you do need to borrow money, it's important that you shop around to make sure you're getting the lowest rate you can qualify for. At the Yukon Project, we've tried to make shopping around easy. If you go to our marketplace page, you can apply to any one of our featured lenders. Behind the scenes, we will check your rate with up to 40 lenders automatically. Our partners use a soft credit check, so applying won't hurt your credit score. We will show you all of your approved offers so you can make sure you're getting the best deal you can qualify for. If you have any direct experience with OppLoans, leave a comment below. Your experience could be invaluable to others watching this video. And if you found this information helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us out, and we appreciate it. Thanks for watching.